Hi everyone, welcome to today's video where we're going to learn all about shooting and jumping in Scratch. This is part of our Games Programming in Scratch series, and today we're diving into this lesson where by the end of this video you'll know how to add shooting mechanics, control sprite movement using X and Y coordinates, and even make your sprite jump. So let's get started. Before we jump into the fun stuff, let's talk about what we're going to learn today. First, we'll explore how to add shooting mechanics to your game, like making a sprite shoot at a target. Next, we'll learn how to adjust X and Y coordinates to control where your sprite moves on the screen. And finally, we'll figure out how to make your sprite jump. These are all super important skills for creating awesome games in Scratch. Now let's talk about shooting. There are a few different ways you can set up shooting in your game. For example, you have a crosshair that follows the mouse, which is great for aiming. Or you can have a shooting from a fixed position, like a first-person shooter game. Another option is to have shooting while moving your character, which is common in platform games. We'll explore each of these in more detail as we go along. Let's start with shooting using a crosshair. First, you'll need to create a crosshair sprite. This is the little target that will follow your mouse when around the screen. Once you've got that, you can program it to follow the mouse pointer using the Go to Mouse Pointer block. Then you can make another sprite, like a target, disappear when it gets clicked. And don't forget to add a point to the score every time you hit a target. This is a great way to make your game more interactive and fun. Consider pausing the video at this stage just to look at the blocks of code on your screen. This should give you an idea of ways you can incorporate shooting with a crosshair. Next up, let's talk about first-person shooters. In this type of game, your weapon will follow the mouse, just like the crosshair we just talked about. When you click on a sprite, like an enemy, it will disappear or get shot. You can even add sound effects or animations to make it more exciting. This is a really cool way to create a shooting game when you have to aim and take out targets. Again, consider pausing the video and just inspect the code on your screen. Now, what if you want to shoot while moving your character? This is common in platform games, where your character is running and jumping while shooting. To do this, you'll need to create a variable to store the direction of the bullet. Then create a bullet sprite that launches from your character when you press a key, like the spacebar. This way, your character can move around the screen and shoot at the same time. It's a bit more advanced, but it makes your game feel more dynamic. Consider pausing the video again and inspect the block of code on your screen. Okay, now let's move on to jumping. To make your sprite jump, you'll need to create a variable to control the jump. Start by setting this variable to 0. When your character is on the ground and you press a key, like the arrow, you'll change the jump variable to make your character move upward. You'll also need to adjust the Y coordinate of your sprite to make it go up and down. To bring your character back down smoothly, you can reduce the Y coordinate by -1 over time. This creates a nice, gentle landing effect. Now it's time to practice jumping. Try experimenting with the jump height and speed to see what feels right for your game. You might want your character to jump really high or just a little bit. You can also add gravity by making the character fall faster after reaching the peak of the jump. Play around with it until it feels just right. Remember, practice makes perfect. Again, consider pausing the video and inspecting the block of code on your screen. If you're looking for ideas, check out other games in the Scratch library. You can search for games that use shooting or jumping by typing those words into the search box. Then, click the See Inside button to look at the code. This is a great way to learn new techniques and get inspiration for your own game. Don't be afraid to adapt these ideas to fit your unique game design. One last tip before we wrap up: comment your code. Adding comments to your code helps explain what each part does. For example, you might write a comment like, "This block makes the sprite jump," or "This variable controls one bullet direction." This is super helpful if you want to share your game with others, or if you come back to your project later and need to remember how it works. It's like leaving little notes for yourself. And that's it. Today we've learned how to add shooting mechanics, control sprite movement using X and Y coordinates, and make your sprite jump. We also talked about finding inspiration from other games and the importance of commenting your code. Now it's your turn to go out there and create something amazing. Don't forget to experiment, have fun, and keep learning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.